Sports. It's the Toronto Mounties taking on San Diego.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with their opponents. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays,
lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a man drafted in the 3rd round in 2019 from West Virginia. It's Will Grier.
and what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. Fights him off. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Grier. It's caught outright by Graham. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. On the handoff, this is Jacobs, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down. They get only 4 that time, as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And the opening drive of the game yields 3. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Smith. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
And Smith's throw into the hands of Henry here. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Geno. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Greer operating from the gun. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Out of the gun, Greer. And that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. Two division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other. Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Here's Patterson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. On 2nd and 7, Smith. Quick completion to Henry. And some room to work. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there.
And as you saw right there, this is a guy with pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there, catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll run here with Robinson. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Smith. Touchdown! Hunter Henry. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Aftershocks have moved out in front.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. And he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Here's Greer. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A gain of 8 there on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They go with Jacobs, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. They'll try the air now with Greer. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Greer. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Khalil Mack in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down.
Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we're usually talking about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
McPherson's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe.
He can really smell 800 catches right now, because that last one puts him at 799, knocking on the door.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run with Patterson. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Patterson on the carry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And caught by Henry. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now Smith. Got a man, it's Patterson, complete. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From the gun, here's Smith. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Toronto's offense ready to take over. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Greer on 1st down. Claypool with another catch. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
Greer looks to throw.
Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. And he will get enough for a 1st down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now arguably the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
On 1st down, it's Greer. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Greer throwing again. Looking again for Watkins, and this time that's complete. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now it's Greer. And one more time, that's Watkins. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, this from 46.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Smith. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Smith. Out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now Hill to return it. Oh, what a move. Well, there was a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And Graham's got it, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Greer on 3rd down. And this one is incomplete. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to kick it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Jennings now on the return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Geno now to throw. Quickly into the hands of Beckham. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. And that catch, he just hit number 800 in his NFL career.
And just think, that puts you in top 35 range all time in the NFL in terms of number of catches. One significant guy in that number, Shannon Sharp, who was a tight end. That's big-time play right there.
On 2nd down, it's Patterson.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now Gino. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Greer lets this one rip toward Grant. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. It's a great throw right there, and really showed a lot of confidence in his receiver.
He certainly did. Ball was in the air a long time, but he counted on the adjustment that we saw near the end of the play. As that ball was descending, who was going to come down with it? He counted on his guy, and he gambled correctly.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 61 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Greer. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground. Well, this offense has already been forced to settle for field goals on their drives earlier, so this is not a welcome sign here.
Indeed, it is not, and they certainly hope it's not a sign for the entire game because they know they've got to be able to sustain drives all the way through. Pick up those guys rushing the quarterback and give himself a chance.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Greer sets to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
So out comes the field goal team once more. McPherson's kick is good. take the lead here by 2, 12-10. Another drive bogs down, but for the fourth time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
So here are visitors to take over on offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
2nd and 10.
Throwing is Smith. Pass incomplete.
But the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. And on now is the punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He juked him. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to, but as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From the 30 on 2nd down. Greer. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
The connection made. It's Graham. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that's going to up the lead to 15-10. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy. And they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
Our visitors getting set to take over on offense.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Smith. Complete. It's Henry. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well. Tried
the dump off, lost yardage.
Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Now Smith. He finds his man, complete. It's Patterson. So they bring out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here's Hill on the return. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 70 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 4 yards remain for 2nd down. Play action. It's Greer. Throw left side, taken in by Claypool. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Jacobs now. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Running is Jacobs. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the 1st. Now Greer. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And as a result, possession switches hands. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call. And the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First, on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Smith now to throw. And right side, Henry's got it. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the 1st before he's brought down.
Partner, I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise when that position keeps the football, and what a nice gain on that play.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Patterson on the draw play. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Second and 8 coming up.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Toronto's offense ready to take over.
And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the 1st down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Greer.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Here's Beckham.
Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards.
And that will come the offense as they take over.
So here are visitors to take over on offense. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Now Gino on 1st down. Henry's got it out on the left side. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Out of the gun, Smith. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Smith. Over the middle here to Brown. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
And Smith's throw into the hands of Henry here. And he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Now Smith. Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Smith. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Smith now to throw. Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again. Not much there, only a yard. Smith trying to get him to the line quickly with the clock rolling. And that one incomplete as it breaks a string of 8 straight pass completions. Now it's Smith.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
They're down by 5. They've got to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never say never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The situation for him offensively as follows. Down by 1. And time, a huge factor. Their long win streak in great peril as they come up 1st and 10. Greer now to throw. Pass complete. Graham. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now it's Greer. Able to connect with Jacobs. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Greer. Open man, completes it to Claypool. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
How many people watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. Greer. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
Jennings now on the return.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
One last throw here for Smith. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the home team here,
the victory moves them to 7-1 on the year.
And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.